sets of meeting minutes: the January 22nd Parks, Recreation, and Public Works Subcommittee meeting minutes, the January 22nd Law and the Courts Subcommittee meeting minutes, and the January 3rd City Council regular meeting minutes. Roll call and adoption and approval of the consent agenda. Clerk Doyle.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Rutherford, Carrington,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
6 yeas, no nays.
Very good. That is approved. We are now at special presentation. The first special presentation this evening, we are joined by the Oakland County, from the executive team, Deputy Executive Sean Carlson from Oakland County Government, who is given the floor to provide us with updates and next steps as it relates to their property in prominent and important downtown Pontiac. Deputy Executive.
Thank you.
You'll hit the button on the bottom right of the black device.
Okay.
Yes, it's now live.
There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you, President McGinnis, and thank you, council members, as well as the Deputy Mayor and the Mayor of Pontiac. Appreciate the opportunity to present and give you an update. We're very excited about this project and this partnership with Pontiac and with Oakland County coming to downtown Detroit. And I just want to give you an update and some of the work that we've been working on since we were last here. I think that might have been in August. Since then, we have formally submitted our request for the $50 million enhancement grant from the state of Michigan. I understand that Pontiac has submitted their request as well. We're waiting for those funds to come in from the state of Michigan. They haven't quite gotten here yet, but we stand ready for those. Also, since that time period, we've conducted 10 construction management and developer meetings, encouraging developers, sharing information with all of the major developers in Oakland County and outside of Oakland County about this project and how important this project is. Also trying to garner some insight from them in regards to project development work that they've done in the past as well. This project is broken down really in 4 main components. The first component is an owner's rep, owner's representative, somebody that will act as the county's fiduciary and have responsibility with the oversight of construction management for 31 Judson. 31 Judson is Ottawa Tower 2. That is the building that the county intends to move into. 600 plus employees is what we're looking at. I know we had an MOU that said 500, but at last count it was 600 plus. So we're working on that. We did hire the owner's rep. We went out for bid. There were 9 submissions. We deselected or down selected to 4, had interviews with them, and we selected the, we selected the Farbman Group in regards to being our owner's rep. We also put a bid out on the street on October 17th. The solicitation was issued. It was closed on November 20th. There were 8 bids that came in for A&E, which is architect and engineer design that we'll need, community engagement and urban planning. The A&E and the urban planning are specifically the A&E is again for that 31 East Judson building. We down selected to 5 bidders and we went through that process. I'll be happy to share the names with you as soon as I share it with the companies. So we're not quite there yet. We have come to a consensus with the evaluation committee. We'll be doing a dual award for the community engagement, and we'll go to one vendor, and then the urban planning and the A&E will go to another vendor. Next up after that will be the construction management that we intend to put out, which is a request for proposal. Our timeline for putting that out will be in March. We want to have that out on the street for folks for 6 to 8 weeks. That's important. In the contracting world, it's important to send the message that this is wide open, and we're taking all bidders. And the property development is also what we intend to put out on that timeframe at the same time. So potentially teaming can take place. It doesn't have to take place, but it might offer us the best opportunity. When we look at property development, what are we talking about? What we're talking about is the demolition of the Phoenix Center. We're talking about a proposal that will build a new parking garage in its place, that it will find where is the appropriate place for that to be. Of course, the county and Pontiac will work together in regards to where that new parking garage will go and where the best place for that garage placement. We'll also be looking at the other vacant properties too in regards to the property development. The construction management will be basically the renovation of 31 Judson, which is, as I mentioned before, the building where all the employees will be coming down to. So the time frame for this, like I said, we're looking to get this bid out on the street in March. Hopefully we'll get those bids in middle of April. We'll then go into evaluation and hopefully be able to issue a notice of award at the end of May, beginning of June. And hopefully a demolition will start sometime in August or September is what we're hopeful for that process to start. So that's just kind of where we're at right now. I don't know if it's appropriate to take any questions, but I'm happy to share any questions. I do want to share one point, which I think is really important. During our presentations last week, when we were listening to the 5 different vendors that came in and presented, and they asked a couple of questions about the importance of this project. And we had different team members from Oakland County respond to that. But what I had said and shared with them, what's important for the Coulter administration, and I believe for the mayor and the city council, is that we see this as an opportunity to serve as a catalyst. Yes, we have a certain opportunity, and we understand from a downtown perspective where the building's going to go. But see it bigger than that. In regards to having the oversight for economic development, I'm having conversations about creating entrepreneurial hubs and renaissance zones here in Pontiac, of making the U.S. Center for Advanced Manufacture here in Pontiac. And so we're looking at this as not just a move down here, but a shift in thinking from the business community as well. So we see it as a great opportunity. And we're excited about it, and we said this is important that we do this in partnership, and that's why we put the community engagement RFP out. It's important for us to get the input from the community. It's important for us to hear what their thinking and concerns are as well, and it's important that we make sure that we're doing this with Pontiac, not to Pontiac. We want to be a good partner with the city of Pontiac, and that has been consistent in Executive Coulter's message all along and the Board of Commissioners, and I just want to reemphasize that we're partners in this. So,
Thank you very much for your time and the update. We give the floor now for questions and discussion. Councilwoman Rutherford.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for that presentation and for giving us updates. I only have 2 questions. My first question is, and I'll yield it to you, the president, to ask you, is do you know the timeline when the RFP is going to close for the community engagement part? And the reason why I'm asking is we have people who feel like they may not have an opportunity to be a part of those talks, those discussions. We also have people who have desire to want to work alongside with the council. So I wanted to know when that's going to close and if that job or those opportunities are open to people from this community to actually try to do the community engagement part so that we have a real partnership. So we have somebody from the city and someone from the county.
Yeah, I mean, the community engagement piece was part of the evaluation process. So we are recommending, at least for our portion, we've talked to the city because we know that there'll be possibly community engagement opportunities even outside of the component that we're dealing with, and how we might be able to partner with the city on on that from a community engagement.
So it sounds like you're very near a decision, so when you make that decision, let the council know, and that way, if there's community members that are interested early on in being partners or collaborators with whomever is leading that community engagement.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, second question?
My second question is, you stated earlier that the tear down is projected to look at in mid-August or September. Is that confirmed, or are you just waiting?
No, I mean, we're projecting right now. Bids haven't even come in on the property development, but we know that we're anxious to get moving. In order for us to move down, the parking garage needs to be down and a new one needs to be up. So that is serving as our catalyst to move things along.
Okay, and the only reason why I asked you to make sure you have clarity, because sometimes people try to misquote what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, are you saying this, or is it, hypothetically speaking? We would have, because people were trying to twist what you said, and then it'd be all.
We're going to put it in our scope of services. I'm not sure what the demolition companies are going to come back with.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
so once we have that information, we'll be back here to update you on what that schedule is.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mayor Grimel, followed by Councilwoman James, Councilman Parker.
Yeah, thank you. I really just want to emphasize, and I've shared this with you, Sean, I've said it many times publicly, we are really excited about the county's investment in our downtown. This is a big deal. There was a time, as you know, when all of the county's offices were in our downtown, and beginning in the 50s and over the couple decades following that, there was really complete disinvestment by the county in our downtown, such that by the time the late 70s or early 80s rolled around, everything was out at the Telegraph campus. And what that did was it took a lot of county employees out of our downtown, and they weren't any longer here to help support restaurants at lunchtime or retail outlets after work. And so it really did have a really harmful impact on the downtown when those county employees moved out and when the county disinvested in our downtown. And thanks to you and the leadership of County Executive Dave Coulter and Chairman Woodward, you are reversing that disinvestment and bringing many hundreds of county employees back into the heart of our downtown, which, as you pointed out, is going to have a major positive catalyst benefit to the downtown, to development, and really help bring Pontiac's downtown roaring back to life. So I just want to thank you for the collaboration. Your working relationship with council and with my office is really valued, and I know you're putting in place important plans to do community outreach, to really hear from Pontiac residents what they want to see as part of this development. So we couldn't be more excited and pleased, and I just want to thank you for that partnership and for the county's investment in the heart of our city. As you know, as we rebranded a city logo, we also adopted a new slogan, which is Pontiac, the heart of Oakland County. And your work, the work of the county executive and the county commission chairman and our own county commissioner, Angela Powell, is really putting substance behind that new slogan as you, once again, are investing in the heart of the county, which is, of course, the city of Pontiac. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Councilwoman James?
Yeah, the residents of Pontiac, again, thank you for being here, and thank you for the presentation that you've given us. But the residents are really have a strong feeling about the entertainment center, at the Feeling Center at the top, that portion. And I realize that that's going to be a part of your property development demolition plan.
Yes.
But I'd like for you to kind of go into a little more detail, if you have it, or just tell us what that plan is in terms of the demolition. There's been some conversation that there may be that we're going to salvage as much as we can of the equipment and stuff that's there, the seating, the theater. I'd like to have more detail about if we are in fact going to do that. If that would be a part of your demolition plan.
So that will be part of the RFP development that will go out in March. And of course, the community engagement, I anticipate will start in the March to May timeframe. So We'll certainly hear the feedback from the community. You're hearing feedback from the community, and we'll make sure that we integrate that in the proposals. I don't have any specifics on that at this point in time because we do not have bids in from those that are demolishing that
I guess the
building.
question I have is, as of now, are there any plans to salvage any materials from the existing entertainment space?
It's a great question. We haven't given that thought. We will now incorporate that into our thinking.
And it sounds like the mayor might have a further thought.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to emphasize is that the agreement between the county and the city requires at least 2 acres of the property there to be owned by the city for the purpose of a community space, a town square, a performance area. And that's an effort to make sure that even though the Phoenix Center parking garage as it's currently constructed will be demolished, that the city will still have city-owned property right there in that footprint that will be available for public performances, for a gathering space. We thought that was very important. The county was on board with that idea, and I think that creates an opportunity to recreate the sense of place that the Phoenix Center was always intended to provide, but actually do it at ground level at a more pedestrian-friendly scale. And I think this is actually going to be a big plus in terms of having a sense of place, a focal point for the community that is actually more accessible and accessible day in and day out as opposed to just being accessible for special events. The county and the city will be talking, to be more specific to your question, Councilwoman, about the extent to which we want to preserve some of the infrastructure that's currently on top of the Phoenix Center as part of the recreation of that public space at ground level.
And that was what I'm just trying to clarify. Is it a to be determined situation, or is it something that is going to be a part of that
RFP.
property? Yes.
Yeah, we can make it part of the RFP, absolutely. We can put that as part of the scope and have people bid on what it would cost to salvage that versus if they were not to do that. We certainly can put that.
Well, that would be worked out between
Yes.
you and the administration. But I just wanted to clarify that if that was in fact going to be a part of this.
Yeah, we will share the RFP document with the mayor's office before that goes out on the street.
Okay.
And on a related note, there are a few just smaller artifacts or ephemera on or attached to the Phoenix Center. A lot of the more noteworthy ones have already been relocated, but there's, some metal Phoenix, emblems, et cetera, that could be saved versus going to the landfill that can be
absolutely.
celebrated and saved.
I know that there's some folks that specialize in that as well, so.
Councilman Parker, you have the floor.
Thank you, Brother President. My question, you've given us a lot of timelines. Do you have any timeline as to when the employees will actually start moving?
Yeah, so that timeline will be dictated about how quickly the new garage goes up, because we're not going to bring all the employees down and have a parking issue. It is our hope and desire to have that at the end of calendar year 25 or the beginning of 26, but we'll have to see when these bids come in and what the construction timeline is. So I'm letting you know what it is right now, but those bids aren't out on the street, so we're not sure what the proposals will be, but that is what we're going to write in the RFP.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion and questions? Hearing no further discussion, that concludes the special presentation. Thank you, Deputy Executive, for your time tonight.
Yes, thank you very much, City Council and Mayor's Office. I also want to thank Commissioner Powell for her encouragement of getting over here and making sure we're presenting. And so I'll try to make sure we do that with a certain cadence that works for you all. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Our final special presentation this evening is regards to the visit to the Pontiac sister city of Kusatsu.